his savage, untutored breast, new emotions were stirring, which he could not fathom. He wondered why he felt so great an interest in these people, why he had gone to such pains to save the three men. But he did not wonder why he had saved the strange girl. Surely the men were stupid, and ridiculous, and cowardly. Even Manu, the monkey, was more intelligent than they. If these were creatures of his own kind, he was doubtful if his past pride in blood was warranted. But the girl, that was a different matter. He did not reason here. He knew that she was created to be protected, and that he was created to protect her. Edgar Rice Burroughs was born on September 1st, 1875 in Chicago, Illinois. As a young man, he attended Michigan Military Academy. Graduating in 1895, he enlisted with the 7th U.S. Cavalry in Arizona Territory. After being diagnosed with a heart problem, he was discharged in 1897. By 1911, after years of numerous jobs and low wages, he began reading pulp fiction magazines. Later, he said, "If people were paid for writing rot, such as I read in those magazines, I knew absolutely that I could write stories just as entertaining, and probably a whole lot more so." Burroughs had his first story, Under the Moons of Mars, serialized by Frank Munsey in the February to July 1912 issue of the All Story, under the pseudonym Norman Bean. In October 1912, Tarzan the Apes was published in All Story magazine, and his reputation was established. Burroughs continued the series into the 1940s with 24 sequels. The violence in Tarzan is more Quentin Tarantino than Walt Disney. The novels also offer racist stereotypes and improbable plot developments. Despite these drawbacks, or perhaps because of them, Tarzan has become one of the most recognizable characters in fiction. Of the books, naturalist Jane Goodall said, "When I was 10 years old, and I found a little book I could just afford, and I bought it, and I took it home, and I climbed up my favorite tree, and I read the book from cover to cover." And that was Tarzan of the Apes. I immediately fell in love with Tarzan. I got my love of animals from the Dr. Dolittle books, and my love of Africa from the Tarzan novels. The creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, said of Tarzan, "I remember myself as an asthmatic child having great difficulties at 7, 8, and 9 years old, falling totally in love with Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, and dreaming of having his strength to leap into trees and throw mighty lions to the ground." Movies only increased the character's appeal, starting in 1918 with Tarzan of the Apes starring Elmo Lincoln. Others also tried on the role for size, including Olympic swimmer Buster Crabbe. But the 1932 film remains the most famous adaptation of the book, this one starring Johnny Weissmuller, who went on to make 11 additional Tarzan films before retiring from the role. Of the role, Weissmuller said, "The director sent for me for Tarzan. I climbed the tree and walked down on a limb. The next day I was told I was an actor." Lex Barker replaced him for a series of 5 films. Gordon Scott portrayed the Jungle Man in 6 films, which includes the best Tarzan movie ever made, Tarzan's Greatest Adventure. Other actors who have played Tarzan include Denny Miller in Tarzan the Ape Man, 1959, Jock Mahoney in Tarzan Goes to India, 1962, Tarzan's 3 Challenges, 1963. Miles O'Keefe was Tarzan in Tarzan the Ape Man, 1981. Christopher Lambert took the role in Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes, 1984. Casper Van Dien in Tarzan the Lost City, 1998. And most recently, Alexander Skarsgård in The Legend of Tarzan, 2016. In addition, Disney Studios produced a first-rank animated feature, Tarzan, in 1999. Tarzan also had his own TV show starring Ron Ely. The series lasted from 1966 to 1968. Tarzan also crossed into other media such as comic books and Big Little books. By the end of the 20th century, Tarzan was the most famous character in literature, outrivaling even Sherlock Holmes. He was larger than life, invincible, indestructible, yet very human. Although Burroughs created Tarzan and became a successful author because of it, the movies catapulted the character to superstardom. Even a city in California, Tarzana, is named after the character. But does Tarzan have the same power to move us in the 21st century? Even the legend of Tarzan, updated as it was, failed to draw large audiences we see in films like The Avengers or Star Wars. Perhaps in a world so entrenched with its computers and iPhones and iPads, Tarzan has outlived his appeal. While all the nasty villains of the past failed to do away with the ape man, perhaps it's technology that is his undoing. The world is too much with us, and it's not Tarzan's